cities don't have. So this is a new place, and it's a family town. I was married here, and I raised my kids here, so I'm not going anywhere.
Take a look at the defense here on LeBron James, of all people.
Yeah, well, we got a break. Isaiah Roby with great hustle, then we're not able to take advantage of it. Ice, when you watch the games today, is there anybody out there that would remind you of yourself?
Well, everybody always talk about Kevin Durant, and it's basically because of our slender build.
Right.
Kevin didn't score like I scored. Kevin can score, but Kevin scored mostly on jumpers and dunks, and in between shots, where I had a different array of shots. And so, I don't see anybody that scored like I did. And I'm saying that, not being boastful, saying it with complete understanding is a lot of guys just don't work on their fundamentals. I was fundamentally sound, so I could use both hands. So, I don't see anybody like me.
And you didn't have a three-point line to use as much, and it wasn't used like that back in the day.
Well, John, too, when I played, the game was played inside out.
Right.
Where we all had a big man that could play with his back to the basket.
Right.
And, we didn't have to really rely on that three-point shot. But the game changed. And Golden State changed it when they won it, shooting threes, their first championship. So me and you had a chance to see the game evolve.
Right.
And I ain't mad at it. This is their turn, and, they play the game like it's designed. They do get away with a little bit more steps than when me and you play. but that's part of the rules now.
Yeah, you never got away with any steps, Ice? You're NBA royalty.
Hey, not step back.
right.
Isaiah Roby as the Spurs exploit the Lakers on the fast break. And Roby lays it in to make it a 40-30 game. You don't recognize that voice. You haven't been watching Spurs basketball, as we're glad to have George the Iceman Gervin with us here after being honored at the quarter break. Inside, shot is blocked. That'll be a goaltend.
You've seen a lot of great players. You've been around the league for a number of years. Obviously, where would you put LeBron James in that conversation?
Oh, at the top, one of the top. I don't put nobody as the best ever, but I do put him as one of the best ever.
Right. It's hard to say one guy is the best, right? Because the game's so different.
Yeah.
And you saw Kareem.
Yes,
you played against him for a lot of years. You were with Michael in Chicago for a second.
Yes, sir. Because, when you ask people, you say, well, what criteria are you using to say he's the greatest of all time?
Right.
Are you saying more points? Are you saying more championships or more entertainment? So, it's hard to say, but LeBron is one of the best, in my eyes, to ever do it.
Are there some other players, Ice, that you played with whose game would really translate to today the way it's played?
First guy top of my head is Julius Erving.
Yeah.
Doc ran, Doc was a slasher and a scorer, and that's what most of these young guys are. They slashers and scorers. Now, you know like I know, because you're out here all the time watching them, you don't find very many good legitimate shooters, that shoot 20 times and gonna make 10. You don't see that today, other than Clay or Seth, but, guys like that. So
we'll take a brief break. We'll be right back here.
Could not wait. I'd be sitting there, and then I'd try to go to the Y and practice everything that I just saw.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
So I got to see Ice play a little bit. Save some of my allowance, $1 a day.
Think about it. Hey, John, think about it. Our games was tape delayed and
they were.
playoffs.
Yeah. My mom would want me to go to bed, and I'd be watching the NBA on the little black and white TV. I'd have it on the floor, hiding halfway into the covers, watching the NBA Finals. They came up after the 10 o'clock news.
Reeves is fouled inside. Where did you, or when did you develop the finger roll? And how'd that come about?
Well, you think about it. Back in the day, you remember you couldn't dunk.
Oh, there was a period, that's right.
You couldn't dunk, so you had to come up with something else. So, that was one of the stages that I started working on, my finger roll. But then again, Julius Erving had a version of it. Connie Hawkins had a version of it, and Will Chamberlain. So I kind of created from them. And I tell them all the time, I didn't invent it. I just made it famous.
You just perfected it.
Yeah.
But you had that soft finger roll ice. It would just hit and just drop.
Yeah. Because I was palming the ball back then, so that was the key to the finger roll.
Keldon Johnson with it out front here as the Spurs trying to hang in against the Lakers.
He's consistent.
Jakob, yeah.
I really like him, man. He ain't scared of nobody either.
No, he's not. No, he's got a soft touch in the paint.
Play, man. He knows how to play.
What is your impression of this young team as they try to find their way in the NBA?
They fun, watch, they play hard, and y'all will tell me before I tell y'all, they just don't know how to finish yet.
Yes.
And that's youth. I was with Devin, and I was talking to him, and I told him, I said, y'all just, ain't figured out how to finish yet.
Right.
But y'all in a whole lot of games.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the youth take over, and it's like anything else. You make little mistakes that cost you.
They had that game in Portland last week. They were up 6 with 5 to play, and they didn't know how to close the game, and then the crowd got into the game, and then they just kind of fell apart under that pressure. But I thought that was a great learning experience for them.
They play hard, though, man. I mean, and you like that. This kid, he play hard, too.
Yeah, he does. So you were talking about pure shooters back in the day. Klay Thompson had that 37-point quarter with a bunch of threes. How would you compare your 33 in that quarter, when you had your 33 in the quarter, to his 37?
Well, we didn't have three-point shot back then, so I got my 3 and 1, at going to the hole. But, if you look at my game, I went to the hole a lot, and I shot a lot of in-between jumpers. I didn't shoot, really long shots. I felt I was talented enough to get to the basket because I can use both hands. So, to be able to get that 33, for me, 40-some years ago, I mean, it was incredible. But I couldn't have done it without my teammates' help.
Yeah.
What about the defense today versus yesteryear?
Oh, they play defense like I did. Like I know too, Sean, the game is about putting the ball in the basket, but if you want to win consistently, you got to make stops when you have to.
Right. You talk about that all the time.
Yeah, you got to make stops, but you still got to put it in the hole.
Johnson trying to find Jones, and the Spurs turn it over.
See, we have a lot of plays like that, Ice, where, I'd rather take a bad shot than a turnover.
Winner miss dunk for El Quattro. And the Spurs get it right back with 4:11 to go. We're visiting with the Iceman, George Gervin here. And the Spurs and Lakers sitting at a 10-point game. Foul will send the Spurs to the line. Do you watch a lot of basketball, college, pro?
I only watch pro. I don't watch college that much at all. I started to watch Eastern Michigan because they got a little kid, Imani Bates, that they go to my school now, and he could play. So it's fun to watch that. But I'm still a pro, so I like watching professional basketball, and that's kind of where my joy at.
Spurs getting ready to substitute Vassell as Langford is at the free throw line.
Well, I understand that perfectly.